How's it going? Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're having a great day. Whew. Yeah, man. I see Chip is in the house and Matt from Cat's Cradle Forge is here too. Right on. Yeah, man. Guys showing up early. Man, I used to forget your name, but now I can remember because it's Matt. So, yeah. Matt's been putting up some of his older videos, man, and those are, man, they inspired me for a long time. So you guys got to go check it out. Cat's Cradle Forge. Yeah, man. He says he's making some coffee. Right on. And Chip's finally on Instagram. I'll have to wait till more people show up, Chip, and tell them about that too. But yeah. So things have been going pretty good. Been getting a lot done here, and whew, man, working like a madman. Yeah, man. It's the only way to be. Oh, man. It's funny because I'm either rushing and everything's late, or I'm early and I'm sitting around like, okay, what do I do for the next 10 minutes while I wait for the live stream? So today was one of those, but I've been sitting around for like 5 or 10 minutes trying to figure everything out. It's like, okay, because I know if I get into something, that I'll my obsessive compulsive, I'll lose control of time, and all of a sudden it'll be like 3:30, and I'll be like, oh man. Oh yeah, right on, right on. Let's see, I got a whole bunch of topics. I'm just trying to figure out which ones I should talk about first. Well, I don't have a whole... Lately, I've only been doing like 5 or 6 topics, so that's a whole lot to me. Oh, man. Chip says my major accomplishment. Funny thing, I was already on Instagram, but forgot. Yeah, man. So lately I've been getting really nostalgic and like watching my older videos, and not my older like knife making videos, but my older music videos, which where I take a song and just put stuff to it or whatever. And so I've been getting real nostalgic, and if you go back and watch them, a lot of the stuff I put up early was from like stuff I wrote in the 90s. And man, it's so like activist driven. Like, man, I just wanted to change the world. Everything I did, I wanted to change the world. Even though like the lyrics and the music is really hardcore and punk and stuff, the lyrics are all like, we gotta change the world. We gotta make this world better. Like this one song, the first song I wrote, well, me and my drummer wrote, was called Sperm. He named it, but it was actually a fitting name because it's like not messing up the world, actually not effing up the world, but I try not to cuss. So it actually fit perfect, And it's like the first set of words are like, peace, love, the skies above will all be gone someday. Acid rain, the land has changed. We're all left rotting away. And it's so funny, and all my songs were just like so driven against, making this world better and changing everyone's opinion to make this, you got to think like me and make this world better. In fact, this was back in like 92, 93. So I would like even petition the towns to like start putting recyclable, trash cans out, when I lived in an apartment down in Virginia Beach. It's like, people aren't going to recycle because you're not putting out these big cans and stuff. And then, even when they did, people just are lazy and throw their recyclables in the trash because they don't want to change. Now, it's 30 years later or whatever, and people are starting to come around to it. But one of the big things I've realized is, man, when you're young, you want to change the world and you want everyone to change the world with you. But as you get older, you realize trying to change everybody doesn't work, and you just have to change yourself to be better. It's like you don't want to make the world better. You just want to be better for the world, if that makes sense. So all this nostalgia and watching all this. Hey, what's up, Be Well? Hello from California. Yeah, man. Right on. So, yeah, because, you know, when you're young, it's like, man, you know, you go out surfing, you see people just throwing their trash and throwing their cans, and it's like, you know, you give them lectures, and it's like, oh, this is why this is bad. But you realize it's not going to change. People are just set in their ways and all that. So it's like you have to change. Instead of telling people, you know, and that's why I stopped like lecturing on my views on politics, my views on religion, my views on this and that. And it's just like, man, let people be who they are and just try to set an example. You know, you've got to be better if you want other people to follow in your footsteps. Hey, what's up, BC Truck Rebuild and Repair? What's up from Texas? All right. Got everyone in the house today. Right on. Yeah, because lately, man, I've just been watching all my old songs because a lot of the reason I stopped, I started, well, the main reason I started doing my music without vocals in my videos and stuff is because it's easier to listen to and it doesn't conflict with what I'm saying. But for the longest time, I really hated my singing voice. Well, it's not singing, you know, I yell and scream. It's like all hardcore and punk. But as I go back and listen to it, it's like, man, was that really that bad? I mean, for what I listen to, it fits. Now, if I was to try to sing a lullaby, it'd be all off key, and I have a horrible singing voice. But when it comes to yelling, as you guys probably know, but if you watch my videos, even me talking is allowed. You know, people, I used to get that comment all the time. You need to stop shouting in your videos. It's like, I'm not shouting. This is, I just got, I just got a lot of wind in my sails. My voice just tends to carry. Oh, man. Oh. Whew. I'm in a good mood today. Actually, this whole week I've been getting a lot of things done and things have been working out. So I'm on the upscale of the week of the emotional roller coaster this week. So, so one thing I noticed when I'm editing all my videos, man, I laugh a lot. Some of it's a nervous tick, and some of it's not. But man, I apologize because I know it gets on my nerves. Because I'll just say something and I'll laugh, and it's like, why am I laughing about that? So, yeah, I apologize if it gets on people's nerves. All right. So, YouTube finally monetized me. Yay! It took 8 months. I can't bitch about it anymore. Now I have to find something else to complain about. And, you know, as a knife maker, I don't know if the things have kind of changed or the tides have kind of turned, but it used to be if you put up anything that was knife related or anything, it would get demonetized anyway. So, but the reason I wanted to be monetized wasn't really for the ads and all that. It was, you know, like live streams and all that. People can donate through super chats and all that. And you can put your website links and change links and all that stuff. So there's a lot more to being monetized than just the AdSense. In fact, the AdSense is a real small part of it because I think you get like $1 per 1,000 views or something like that. So being monetized AdSense, but I have a feeling that with YouTube and Google and all that, if you're monetized and you're bringing in views and stuff, YouTube will promote it more. So I have a feeling that's more important part. Because I was like, well, maybe I'll just take the monetization off my videos so it won't have ads all over them. But I have a feeling if I did that, then YouTube wouldn't promote them as much. Because we got to remember, you know, Google and YouTube is all about business. And if you're making them money, they're going to want to make you money. Or vice versa, or however that works. You know, if you're getting more views, then they're going to promote it more because they're going to make more money. It's all about money, man. Life's all about money. which, you know, that goes back to my whole youth thing. I never understood business, and I still don't. And it's like, oh, man, all these people, all they care about is money. All they want to do is sell things and take your money. And I didn't realize the hard work they're putting behind it deserves that money. You know, before 4 years ago, I never worked for myself. I only went to a, you know, I would say 9 to 5 job, but I built houses, so it was like a 9 to 9 or a 7 to 7 job, and worked for someone else. Now, you still have to, when you're working for someone else, you still have to do your best, and you get a little bit more money and all that. But man, when you're working for yourself, there's no one else to blame but yourself. You know, if you're not promoting yourself and all that, you know, like I've talked about on here before, man, I still got those 5 knives up for sale because I don't know how to sell things. And yeah, so, but it's just part of life. It's something I'll have to learn or find someone to do for me. But yeah. So let's see. Oh, here's lately, you know, because I've been working long hours. And when you guys comment on my videos or comment on Instagram or Facebook or wherever, you know, we interact, I enjoy answering questions. And you know, it's helping people to improve their knife making or whatever is something I really enjoy. But when I've been working like 12 hours a day and I sit down and I can barely move, and I don't mind answering the questions, but I've had a few people that will ask me the same question, and I'm not talking about you, Chip, because you might ask questions that have the same parameter, I guess is the right word, but they're different questions. Like I had this guy contact me, and he's like, where do you get your steel? And I told him, you know, long pieces, New Jersey Steel Baron, short pieces, Alpha Knife, and blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, well, is it okay to use canola oil to heat treat your knives? And I'm like, yeah, you know, depending on the steel, blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, how do you heat treat mild steel? And I'm like, you can't. You know, if you're trying to make a knife, mild steel doesn't work and all that stuff. And then the next question was, where do you buy your steel? And it's like, and I kind of ended it. Well, first, I'm leaving. First, he's like, my parents think I'm a disgrace, or my family thinks I'm a disgrace. And he goes into this long thing about his life. And I'm like, whoa, I'm not your psychiatrist. I'm just trying to help you make knives, you know? And then that's when he asked me the question again. So where do you get your steel? And I was like, look, sorry, I'm too tired to answer the same questions over and over, you know? Any other questions I'll answer, but don't ask me the same thing over and over. Hey, what's up, Aaron? How's it going? What's up, Gurinder? Damn, Heath's in the house too. Right on, right on, right on. So, everyone on Instagram, Chip's now on Instagram, chip.lape, so y'all gotta go, hit him up and say what's up. Yeah, man, we finally got him over to the Instagram. Oh, man. Shepherd's Forge H. That's if you guys don't know who he is, man, that's my good friend Heath that I always talk about. So, but I'm pretty sure if you guys been here, you know who he is. So, yeah, man. Oh, at home with a ruptured eardrum. Oh, was that from going to that Devil's Lake? I saw that. Did you jump off that cliff you were showing in that video? Oh, man. Yeah. Woof. Getting all goofy today. Oh, so one thing I found funny, I kind of tie this into 2 subjects, but lately I've been, you know, I'm not just a knife maker on YouTube. I watch a lot of knife makers on YouTube. And I also watch, you know, photography videos and guitar, music, all that stuff. And it's funny when you're watching all these different people with the same subject, sometimes they'll both put out they'll both put out videos of the exact same topic, and you're like, oh, who's copying who? But then you realize it's just a coincidence, because if you guys watch my YouTube videos for knife making, I made that bevel jig, what, a month or two ago? And then last week, Walter Searles was like, made a new bevel jig. You know, he's like, how to make an easy bevel jig. And I was like, oh, he watched my video. Which was like, yeah, he watched my video. But then, you know, and then he even said, some people make them with all the holes in it and all that stuff. And I was like, he had to watch my video. But then I realized it's probably just a coincidence. A lot of people make that same bevel jig, and, you know, he might not have been watching my videos, you know. But my little ego's like, yeah, he's watched my videos. Oh, man. But it's funny because there's so many things. I guess it's because when you put out a lot of content, and they put out a lot of content, no matter what subject it is, there's always going to be people, you know, times when you're putting out the same thing. But it's just like, oh, man, Walter Searles watches it. Yeah, I know he does. But he probably doesn't even know. So, but maybe now that I'm monetized, that YouTube will promote my videos and he will see it. Oh, man. Which, the YouTube thing, like DB Blades, if you guys don't watch him, go over and check him out on YouTube. If you've been here for a while, you know he's like one of the guys that got me into knife making. Him and Dirty Room Knives are the two guys that really got me started in knife making. Now, Dirty Room Knives doesn't do YouTube videos anymore, but he is on Instagram. So if you go hit up either of those two channels, tell him Dave from Invader Knives sent you. That'd be, because, man, if you guys get any entertainment or knowledge out of my videos, you owe it to them too. DB Blades and Dirty Room Knives. But anyway, I hate when this happens. 3 weeks ago, DB Blades had a video. As I struggle with this, oh, there we go. DB Blades had a video. Never mind. I could let my OCD just ruin this whole live stream and try to fiddle with this cat, but DB Blades had a video, and if you watched a lot of his videos, on his buffer, which he uses, he has like one of those sharpening wheels on his buffing thing, and he's always titled it the Widowmaker, you know, because buffing wheels and all that are real dangerous. But he had this video where he was sharpening, and the wheel actually caught the blade and like tore up the whole sharpening wheel, but like, you know, he was sharpening it, so it was a sharp knife, and it threw the knife straight to the ground. And, you know, you could tell it shook him up. Because, you know, if that knife would have gone anywhere but to the floor, it could have hit him in a femoral artery, or however that word's spelled. You know, it could hit you anywhere and do a lot of damage. And in fact, I don't know what happened last January, but LB Customs, Lee from LB Customs, had an accident in the shop and it killed him. And he was, you know, he's one of those UK makers that, Dirty Room Knives, you know, Wessex Blades, Jack Lore, all these guys are UK knife makers that I looked up to. So when I heard about, you know, LB Customs passed away from a shop accident, you can go watch his videos. His YouTube channel's still up. He used to make these folders that were amazing, you know, like $1,000 folders. And he would show you each part. So, you know, for someone that skilled to have an accident in the shop, man, you know, and DB Blades, you know, I've been making knives, what, 4 years now? And his channel's, you know, I was watching his channel back then, and, you know, he's making it before that. And he's in his 20s. He's a young dude. So, man, it really scares you. It makes you think. My glasses are fogged up. I can't read. So, and any little thing, you never know. Shepherd's Forge, I see a lot of following you through blacksmithing videos as well. I see a lot of, I can't read. I'm missing out on half the conversation, so. Da, 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 da. I'm sorry, I've lost the conversation, but yeah. So blacksmithing. Well, I'll take what I can from that. My glasses are all fogged up. I didn't wipe them down, but man, if people watch me from forging things, that's awesome. And Chip, I mean not Chip, and Heath, I know that's because you are always promoting my stuff. So, but yeah, I would love to learn forging one day. Uh, there's this one guy. I shouldn't give it away. Maybe I will. He kind of gave it away. LOS. He used to be Peapoddy1. So I'm sure if you type in Peapoddy1 and go watch his latest video, I'll leave it at that. But he says a few things in there that gives it away. If you're curious, go check him out. And tell him Dave sent you. Oh, man. Shepherd's Forge, I just see a lot of smiths doing very similar things, and it's really just random. See, lately I've been noticing another thing. I've been lecturing a lot in my videos. You know, I've kind of made them a little bit longer and more detailed, but as I'm sitting there doing things, I'll start lecturing, and I think the one, if you don't learn anything else from my knife making videos, what I want you to learn is, you know, be yourself. Take the guidelines that you learn in these videos and all the videos and take them and experiment. You know, learn how to do things your way. You know, make the knives your way. And I know I always try to preach that, but, you know, I've had, you know, especially in these last few builds with the Hamones, when I post on Facebook or I post on Instagram, I have people being like, oh, you can't buff out a Hamon. I must have had like 10 or 15 people say that. You can't buff out a Hamon. It disappears. Well, let's see if we can see this. I got everything kind of dark. I tend to disagree. That was buffed out. But you'll have to watch the next video to see. So, you know, and if I listen to everybody and people are like, oh, go watch Nick Wheeler. He'll tell you can't do it that way. And believe me, I've watched Nick Wheeler. He doesn't do YouTube videos anymore, but he's got the best hand sanding videos out there and heat treating and all that. So I've watched him for years. But if I would just stay with what he says, I would never have accomplished this. And I think there's, and it kind of goes into what I'm talking about with the all or nothing, or my next topic, the all or nothing, because people learn one way, and when they learn one way, like they say, you know, I learned on YouTube, so I've learned from a bunch of people. But a lot of people have someone that takes them under their wing and teaches them something. So they think they can only do it that way, if that makes sense. It's like, this is how the guy that showed me does it, so I'm going to do it this way because that's how I know I get results. And it's passed down the line, you know, and it keeps passing and keeps passing. So everyone does their knives this specific way because that's how they were taught. And the guys that forge, you know, this is just an example. I don't know for a fact, but, you know, if you go to like ABS or you're taught by a master smith, he's going to teach you the way he learned it, and so on and so on and so on. And, you know, if you want to make knives like that, and I'm not taking anything away from them. They are great knife makers, and they make great knives. But the whole point to life in general is to be different. You know, and it doesn't matter if it's music, it doesn't matter if it's making YouTube videos, it doesn't matter if it's anything. When you follow the path that's already paved, you're just walking behind someone like a sheep, you know? That's how sheep walk. They follow the herd like everyone else. You've got to take these things you learn from YouTube and everything else and experiment and go off the path a little bit. You know, stand out. You know, you're not going to stand out. Now, I'm kind of conflicted on saying this because, look, if you make knives like everyone else, yes, they will sell, and people will buy them, and people will love them, and all that stuff. So, if that's what you want, then don't listen to me. You know, I'm just talking out my ass too. This is just my philosophy. You know, if you want people to look at your knives and be like, oh man, that looks like this knife, or that is this, you know what I'm saying? Then do it like everyone else. Because that's what's popular. That's what people will buy. But if you want to stand out, you got to take your stuff and make it yours. You know, now they're knives. They're going to, like I said this 100 times, they're handles and they're blades. There's only so much you can do with them. But there are details that can be changed and experiments to be made. Like, I'll be honest with you, and this goes back to I don't want to be humble. I've never seen someone do a 3-tone knife. You know, stone washed on the top, dark hamon, and mirror finish. Now, I'm sure someone has. You know, I'm positive someone's done it. But I've never seen it. You know, someone was joking on me about my piercing up here. I've seen 1 million piercings, tongue piercings, nose piercings, you know, down there piercings, you know, I've never ever seen a piercing like this in my 20 years I've had it, ever. And someone was joking on me, you know, because it's funny because I always get comments about my thumbnails, you know, because they're long, because I have to play guitar. And this one guy commented, he's like, I wonder if he uses that thumbnail as a tool. And another guy's like, I don't know, but he sure is a tool. And what about that piercing over his eye? And I was like, I just commented like, man, I love haters. It's so fun getting hate comments like that because it's just like, man, it makes my day because it means I'm doing something right. I'm doing something different. You know, and then I posted a little video of me playing guitar showing how I had to play it. And everyone kind of was quiet. And then when it came to the piercing, I was like, I know, you know, I understand if you want to be boring and like everyone else and not stand out. You know, I get it. And he didn't really comment back, so. You know, it's just funny. I try not to engage with hatred for hatred, if that makes sense. Like if someone's saying something negative to me, I'll try to kind of twist it into a positive manner. But, you know, because if someone's hating on you and you just fire back at them with hatred, it's just going to make them feel, I got under his skin. I got this person, you know. I accomplished my goal. And then they take that hate and push it on someone else. So, and, you know, it's like a conquering thing. Oh, I've got under his skin. Well, no. Hey, a lot of people say stuff, you know. I've gotten used to stuff like that. And if someone comments about, oh, my knife looks like this or that, hey, that's fine too. Because maybe it's constructive criticism. You know, maybe it's not bad. Maybe it is something I have to change. You know, maybe there's something about my knife that, oh man, I could do it better this way. So when someone says, and you know, lately on these comments or on these Facebook pages, I see a lot of people, like I did that, you know, the ferric, the vinegar, or the coffee thing, and people are always like, oh, you know, putting up different things, and this one dude said sulfuric acid, and I was like, man, and oh no, he said wrong sulfuric acid, which means he didn't even read what the post was about, because it was like, which one works best? How can you be wrong in that kind of situation, if that makes sense? You know, it's testing 3 different kinds of etches. How can they be wrong? And then I was like, and then that's what I said to him. And he's like, oh, I was just joking. I couldn't afford ferric chloride, so I'd use sulfuric acid. And it never worked anyway. And it's like, well, why didn't you say that? Why did you just say wrong sulfuric? You know, at least say, I use sulfuric, or I tried so, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like people just want to put out bad information. And that's, man, that's why I love doing these videos, to try to break people from putting out bad information, or to give people options to try things to see if they work. Because all this stuff I do, it might not work for you. Hey, I'm a poet and don't even know it. So, and that's why I want to, that's why it goes back to, I want people to try to take something and be like, wow, maybe I can do it this way. Like hand sanding. People see me hand sanding, you know, instead of taking a block and doing the flat, which I'll do that on the flats. You know, I'll sit there with my fingers and hand sand. Now, will that work for everyone? Maybe not. But hey, give it a shot. Maybe it will. So, I'm going on a big old rant. Muriatic acid or something like that, I'm sure. Well, Chip, I didn't read the rest of it. Ferric chloride is muriatic acid. It's just weakened down with hydrogen peroxide and steel wool. Well, that's the homemade recipe. I've never done that, but that's kind of what it is. It's sped comment. They don't even read the info provided. I'm going on such a rant and rave that I'm not even reading the comments. I apologize, guys. I can't believe I'm finally monetized. Yay! Man, I've been complaining about that for 8 months. And me, of course, the diabolical part of me says, oh, it's because I'm a knife maker and YouTube doesn't like knives, so they're not going to monetize me. But no, I just had to be patient. Old impatient Dave won't wait around for anything. Oh, man. So, let's get to the topic, the all or nothing attitude. Now, I'm sure when a lot of you read this, which I'm assuming, you thought I was going to say, you have to have the all or nothing attitude if you want to make it. But quite the opposite. I see a lot of people, like if you've heard me talk about video and learning how to do photography and videography, you know I've talked about Matty Hapoya. And man, if you're trying to learn how to do camera work or anything, Matty Hapoya and Peter McKinnon are the best. But Matty Hapoya started doing daily vlogs. You know, in the first couple of weeks, he was, you know, they're good vlogs and great, but you could tell he was kind of conflicted. And he's like, man, do I keep doing these daily vlogs? Do I keep doing these daily vlogs? And this kind of goes back to the YouTube coincidence too. And I commented like 4 or 5 times, you know, I don't understand this all or nothing attitude. If you don't like doing daily vlogs 7 days a week, why don't you just do them 5 days a week, take the weekends off to relax? And last Wednesday, he announced, I don't think I'm going to do daily vlogs anymore. I'm going to do them 5 days a week and take 2 days off. Now, he didn't reply to my comments or anything like that. But of course, my ego is like, yeah, he read. But see, I've followed Matty for a long time, just like Peter. And when Matty got to about 300,000, he used to reply to everyone's comments and, you know, talk to it and interact. But now he's at like 700,000 subscribers, which, believe me, he probably doesn't have time to answer comments. But that doesn't mean he doesn't read them, you know. So maybe he did, maybe he didn't. You know, I put it in there enough. He probably did, but I don't want to assume, but my ego does. Jacob Visor, new to the channel. Hello from Minnesota. Hey, what's going on? Welcome. I hope you guys are, I hope you guys don't mind. I've been skipping I need to get let me see if I can put my other glasses on so I can read. Ever since I've gone blind, I got like 7 pairs. These are like 150s. I think these are like 2.5s. So, no, these are dirty too. I had everything prepared except cleaning my glasses before. So, all right. Heath from Shepherd's Forge says he knew it. So, anyway, Yeah, so back to the all or nothing attitude. And you know, I'm not getting into politics or all that, but it goes to a lot of things. You know, you either have to be left or you have to be right. Well, I wonder if I'm not. Wonder if I believe in a lot of things on this side and a lot of things on that side, which I do. I'm not going to get into it. You know, I've talked about my stance on gun rights, how you know, I've never owned a gun, but I'm 100% for gun rights if the people are qualified to own them, and you know how I lean left for these things and lean right for that thing, and I just don't understand why it's like you have to either believe this all or believe nothing, you know. And believe me, when it goes for the all or nothing attitude, I'm guilty as well. You know, when it used to come to knife making, I'd ruin a knife. It's like, I'm quitting. I'm not doing this anymore. You know, so I either have to make perfect bevels or I'm not doing it at all. I've been guilty of that one for years, you know. Oh, this isn't turning out how I wanted. I'm quitting. So, you know, it's like that all or nothing mentality. And a lot of people preach it. And, you know, Gary Vee, I haven't talked about Gary Vee in a long time, but, you know, that's his, you know, you have to go all in, you have to put everything into it, you know, all this. But what if that's not your personality? What if, you know, like my personality, I don't know sales. If I was to go all into sales, I wouldn't be making knives, I wouldn't be doing YouTube, and you know, and part of that all or nothing is, you have to be on track. You have to stay on one thing. You know, if you want to be a musician, you have to focus only on music. You want to be a knife maker, you can only focus on knife making. But that's not realistic. You know, that takes away from everything else you need to figure out to get it all working. So that all or nothing mentality is helpful for some people. Do need that focus though. Some people are driven and they put that focus 100%, and you know, like Casey Neistat, you know, I wouldn't have made it if I would have had other things to fall back on and stuff like that. And you hear people saying that all the time. If you have other things if you have other things to fall back on or other prospects, you'll never make it because you always fall back on that other stuff. You know, Casey Neistat always talks about, oh, I never had anything, I was poor. You know, I had a kid at 16, so I had no choice but to make it. But, you know, that's his way of looking at it. But you know how many people have kids at 16 that are deadbeat dads and don't do anything? So, you know, it's about the person and how you take your life into perspective and what you make out of life that is important. And focusing is important, but with me, you know, with my OCD, if I focus on one thing, I'm not going to focus on the other things, you know, and that's where I have to stop and take a step back. It's like, well, wait, I love doing music. I love doing knives. I love making YouTube videos. And people are like, oh no, you're wearing yourself thin. You're not gonna make it that way. You have to just focus on that one thing, which I think I'm going into a rant I did a long time ago on you need to focus on that, but it's so true. And this all or nothing attitude, I see it so much these days. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can, you know, say you're getting burnt out on doing knives or burnt out on doing YouTube or burnt out on whatever your passion or hobby is. Don't quit. Take a break. Take a week off. You know, I did that a few months ago. I was just getting overwhelmed trying to do everything at once. And instead of slowing my, you know, progress down or kind of doing different things different days, I kind of just quit. And I was like, oh. And then I got sick and, you know, everything went to a halt for like 2 weeks. So lately I've been trying to, you know, do my knife making for 4 or 5 hours. Like, like Tuesday or Wednesday's video. And see, that's my huge OCD all or nothing. I have to get this video out Wednesday or I have to get it out, you know. So I started switching up. Maybe I'll get it out Tuesday. Maybe I'll get it out Wednesday. You know, the next one, maybe I'll get it out Friday or maybe Saturday. You know, and hey, if I can't get the second video out, save it for the next week. And man, that was my big all or nothing moment. You know, but now I've been working on knives so much and editing at night here and there. Instead of trying to, oh man, I got to put a video out. So I'll do all the knife making today and then I'll do all my editing tomorrow. Oh, I'm not going to make it. Oh, my editing's not done. You know, believe me, for the last 8 months or however, you know, since I started really getting involved in YouTube, that was my progression. And it would burn me out. And by Friday or Saturday, I wasn't making knives and I was trying to edit here or something. So you kind of have to figure out your priorities and kind of, you know, pace yourself. Like Tuesday's video, I think I just said that. Am I repeating myself? Tuesday's video is already shot. I just have to edit it. Man, it's going to be a good one. It's probably going to be a long one though. But if you like doing hormones and etching and stuff, it's going to be an interesting one. Chip says he has many passions and he doesn't give up on any of them. Right on. I hear you there. Oh, man. Whew. 40 minutes. We made it. I think I've been drinking all this too. Oh, man. Oh. Lecture. You know, the thing is, if you guys got any questions and I can actually read them about knife making or anything, we can start doing that too. I was thinking about that today. I was like, maybe I'll start calling this like knife talk or something related to knives. But then I end up just ranting and raving about other stuff. So, but you know, you guys can always ask questions if I can keep up and read them and stuff, or leave them in the comments after the live stream, and you know, I'll put them down as topics and stuff to talk about. I know Ecom Knives used to do like an FAQ video where people would ask him stuff, and you know, just like a dedicated video where he'd sit there. You know, all these. It's funny because all these guys I looked up to, like Ecom Knives and Gavco Knives and Tough Knives, you know, Dirty Room Knives. DB Blades is like, well, Walter Sorrells, of course. Walter Sorrells, DB Blades are like the only two left. You know, Simple Little Life came later, so don't think I'm excluding him. I still watch every video of his. But from the guys that I started watching like 4 years ago, most of them aren't doing it. Ecom Knives, you know, when and Niels Vandenberg, he does a lot of stuff on Instagram, you know, Black Dragon Forge. So I still, you know, I probably DM him as much as a lot of people DM me. So I'm always asking him for stuff or about stuff. So don't think just because I'm teaching these videos or showing you stuff on videos that I know it all. I still have a lot to learn, and you know, that's one thing I think that's a misconception about YouTubers. We need to learn just as much as everyone else. But yeah, so, and one of these days I'll get to a folder. I've got titanium. See, it's funny because I never liked I never liked fixed blades until I started making them. Everything I had was folders. And like 6 months to 8 months after I started making knives, I bought all this. I'm going to make a folder. And I still haven't made a folder. But one day I'll get to it. And when I do, you better believe I'm going to be watching that Ecom Knives series over and over. So, and man, you know, that's the thing, man. I'm always talking about community. We need to build this community. And I actually had on one of the Facebook groups I'm on, this guy, it's like a tri-state area group. And it even came down to Maryland. I'm like, oh man, I'm in the DC area. I'm right out of, you know, your, what's the word? Your, not geographic. I'm right out of where, I can't think. Anyway, you know, I'm out of the area to be part of that club. And he's like, man, start your own club. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people in the DC area that are into knives and all this. And I'm like, you know, man, with YouTube and all that, it's like, but it would be cool to start a group. But I think, you know, we just need to build this community and help each other. You know, that's the one thing I'm always trying to preach too, you know. And, you know, I did video a long time ago, you know, competition and all that. Are we in competition or are we here to help each other? Well, we should be both. So, all right. I'm getting on to rambling. Thanks for what. Oh, I didn't even show this. It's a new shirt. Now I'm going to change it. It's up on the website. It doesn't say it's not a weapon, it's a way of life. It just says Evader Knives, not a weapon, but a way of life. And that's the one that's on the website. I just ordered this, and then I started thinking about it, and I was like, that's too many words, and I don't like the it's, you know. It's not a weapon, it's a way of life. So it just says Evader Knives, not a weapon, but a way of life. And it's up on the website now. So, yeah, man. All right, Aaron, take it easy. But yeah, so on my website, which the links are down below, I got Amazon links. Oh, and I updated my website for everything. So it's in 2 categories. It's camera gear and all my knife making gear on my website under the Amazon links. And everything's there. And if there's stuff you see that you want to buy that you think would be on Amazon, let me know and I'll put that stuff on there too. Chip's like the best for this because he's like, hey, can I get a link for that? And I'll send him the link. I was like, oh, I better put that down in the description too. So, yeah, 5 knives, 4 shirts now, and all that good stuff. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Sorry about the ads now that I'm monetized, but I want this community to grow. So, all right, thanks for watching. Hope y'all have a great week. And as always, take it easy.